What's up, guys? Hey, it's your boy Mike here, Millennial Mike from Seattle. Just what Dr. Big Pop, whatever you want to call me. I'm good with it, honestly. I'm going to talk about something I don't usually talk about, and that's the stock market. Okay, I don't really talk about stocks. I don't invest in stocks. That's not true. I invest in an IRA since I was 21, and I'm 29 right now, which just hurts my soul to say because I'm coming up on the dirty 30, and it's not a good time right now, man. I'm just feeling old. But anyways, I don't really invest in stocks. I have an IRA that's mostly invested in mutual funds. I have a 401k from a long time ago before I was a cop, back when I worked for a private company, and I still have like 10 grand in there or whatever. Anyways, that's the only stock investing that I've done. I never had Robinhood, never had E-Trade or any of those other things until like 3 weeks ago. Now, in no way am I gonna sit here and try to pretend or bullcrap you that I'm some sort of good investor, that I've done gobs of research. I have not. This is a layman's approach to investing in the 2020 crapshoot of a market economy that we got going on right now, thanks to Big Rona and her freaking nasty attitude. You've been walking across America, just kicking everybody in the teeth, and I've had enough of it. But that being said, I'm an opportunity when I see one, okay? I'm not one to just sit on the sidelines because of fear and not just jump at the opportunity to do something when that freaking moment strikes. And right now, it's freaking knocking on the door, okay? The freaking stock market went from like 29,900 to, at one point, I think it was down at like 18,000, right? It lost all of the gains from President Trump's presidency, which was like 3 years of gains just totally wiped out. All-time high, just boom, like 30-40% of the freaking market gone. Certain stocks dropped like 80%. Royal Caribbean Cruise was at over $100 and dropped to $20. It was all the way down to 17 at one point, right? It's like 83% of the value gone on a stock that has otherwise been very solid. So what did I do? I decided to download Robinhood, put $5,500 in my Robinhood account because I just got cash sitting around as I try to buy a second property, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and invest. I'm not a day trader. I think that's stupid. But when I see solid companies like Boeing go from 350 to 90, do I really think Boeing is going to go out of business? Do I think the federal government or this country will allow the last bastion of manufacturing that our country has to boast of, our once formerly proud manufacturing industry? All we got left is airplanes in terms of like what makes us great and sets us apart from the rest of the world. Man, we can build a plane, 737 MAX is excluded. There was a couple of crashes. It's some bad PR. I don't represent them. I don't talk about that. But like, we can build planes for the most part. So what did I do? Nothing particularly difficult, nothing particularly hard. I'm not going to sit here and pat myself on the back and pretend like I'm a really smart guy, but I've been making money, and let me explain how. Okay, so what stocks did I invest in, and how much did I spend? Like I said, I put $5,500 in a Robinhood account. I haven't spent all that money. I think I've spent about $2,500 of it. And I'll go ahead and put some screenshots of what my Robinhood account looks like and what the different stocks are. So, what I did is I started looking up companies that I think there's no way they'll actually go out of business, but right now they're distressed, okay? I looked at oil. I looked at JP Morgan Chase. I looked at Royal Caribbean Cruise. I looked at Boeing. I looked at a few other companies like this. Companies that I think, if JP Morgan Chase, which is a bank that survived the last financial recession when banks were on the hook for causing all the problems, they were willing to, like all banks, lie, cheat, and steal their way into being able to frickin' make it through that thing. If JP Morgan Chase goes out of business, I don't think money matters anymore, right? If Boeing and Chase are gone and Microsoft and Amazon and Facebook dissolve, I don't think money matters anymore. We're either all on Bitcoin or gold, or bullets is the only thing that has any value left. And I will be cha-ching, cha-ching with the 500 rounds of 9mm I bought. Thank you, America. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent here. I looked at companies that I didn't think there'd be any way that they could fail because they've just been around for a very long time and it's very unlikely they would fail. But that wasn't the only thing I did. I looked at companies that over the last 5 years had gone up and up and up in value. And then when Big Rona reared her ugly head, all of a sudden they plummeted. But had Big Rona not shown up to freaking kick them in the teeth, they probably would have continued to go up and up and up. So, for instance, J.P. Morgan Chase was valued. Oh man, off the top of my head right now, I can't. I'll put the actual thing right in here somewhere. But I think their 52-week high was like $150 something, right? And I'm looking at Robinhood, and they're on sale for $85. Okay, they've lost 50% of their value. Do I think they'll recover it at some point? Yes. Will it take a couple of years? Potentially. But looking at their 5-year trend, it looked like this. Okay, I'll buy some JP Morgan Chase. Well, let's look at a company like Ford. Ford has lost a bunch of their value. They went from like $13 to $5. But what was their 5-year trend? Like this. So Ford's already having some problems. Do I want to buy Ford? No. Does that mean Ford's a bad stock? I have no clue. I'm not Jim Cramer. This isn't Cramerica. This is not Mad Money. Maybe Ford's good. Maybe Ford's not. I have no clue. I don't know about day trading. I don't give a flip. But I know when a line goes up, that's a good thing. And when a line goes down, that's a bad thing. And if the line's been doing bad things for 5 years, I don't want any part of it. You know what else had been going up for the last 5 years? Royal Caribbean Cruise. Okay, Royal Caribbean Cruise is valued at about $100 and now it's valued at $20. Do I think it will go out of business? Probably not, because I think that a bank who probably lent Royal Caribbean Cruise the billions of dollars it costs to build those giant ships is going to say to themselves, if we let this company just go bankrupt and we take their stuff back, what are we going to do with a giant boat in the ocean? We should probably wheel and deal and figure out how to keep these guys afloat. No pun intended. Only other thing that I've really looked at is oil. You know, if you've been paying attention to the news, the Saudis, however you want to say it, Saudi Arabia and Russia have been going to town on each other, just beating each other up over oil production, and it's driving oil prices down. That and the fact that there's no demand right now, right? Normally in Seattle, if I want to commute from my house, which is 45 miles away from Seattle, into Seattle to work like I do every day, it's about an hour and 45-minute drive because there's so much freaking traffic out there that you can't do more than 5 miles an hour, and there's 50,000 crashes on your way in. It just makes you want to take that bleach you're using to clean your counters and drink a little bit of it. Anyways, I don't know, that's probably get flagged by YouTube, whatever. Don't play, this is not, don't, please, take it, bleach is not for drinking. You should know that. Anyways, there's no demand for oil right now because nobody's driving, nobody's flying. And so the production was going on, and they're running out of space to put the stuff, right? They bought up all this space to store oil, and it's full, right? And the president made a smart move and bought a whole bunch of that so that it'll keep prices low. And he's, said, regardless of whatever you think of the president, this isn't a political like video for him or on his behalf. I'm just saying he bought a whole bunch of it, and that might keep the price of gasoline low for a little while here, which is a benefit to me, because let me tell you, while everyone's struggling to have jobs and stuff right now, cheap gas is nice. Here in Washington, we have a 70-cent fuel tax, second only to California in the nation, right? Gas is $2.36 at the pump when I drove by it a couple hours ago. And that's with the 70-cent tax, right? Without that 70-cent tax, we're where the rest of the nation is, with like a gas at like $1.50 in some places. I heard somebody say it was under $1 in one place. But long term, do I think oil, or the need for oil, or the demand for oil, will it come back? Yes. Do I think Chevron and BP, British Petroleum, are going to go out of business? No. The 52-week high for Chevron was like $145. I bought it at 88. The 52-week high for British Petroleum was $45, and I bought it at 22. So I bought two more stocks that, when you look at the 5-year trend, it's on its way up, and all of a sudden it's 50% off. When something goes on sale and you want it, you buy it. In my opinion, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I actually really don't know what I'm talking about. But once again, I know what a line looks like, and if the line goes like this and then goes like this, I think it's going to do this again, because I don't think Royal Caribbean's going out of business. I don't think JP Morgan's going out of business, and I don't think oil companies, at least not those two, are going out of business. And if they do, it's probably the end of the world. Money doesn't matter. So what do I care if I lost it all? I've got bullets. And I guess I got to learn how to farm. Anyways, that is my perspective on investing. The other reason I did pick those stocks is because while I think Amazon will probably be successful, well, I think Facebook will probably be successful, and Microsoft, the stocks, and then maybe even Netflix, $350 a share for Netflix. Amazon, $1,700 a share for Amazon, right? That means I could take the $5,000 that I put into the Robinhood account and I can buy 3 shares, 3 shares of Amazon. Well, I'm essentially betting everything on one company. I don't really want to do that. Chase, I bought at like 80. BP, I bought at 20. Royal Caribbean, I bought at 20. I bought some more at like 30. I can buy a bunch more shares of those companies and kind of diversify a little bit. So maybe if one of them doesn't do so well, then maybe the rest of them will. Anyways, that has been my 2 cents on stock trading and what I have done to seize the opportunity here. And also, I did happen to buy all this stuff, had this bright idea about a week and a half to 2 weeks ago when we really had those bad days where we were right down like I think it's the Dow, right? That was at 20,000, right? I mean, that was way off from where it was. Honestly, I thought it was going to crash even more. Maybe it still will. Maybe it still will. I don't know. We've had this rally in the midst of all these horrible unemployment numbers, which is very surprising, but who knows? Anyways, guys, I really appreciate you watching. Again, I'm not an expert when it comes to like stocks. I don't know anything. I can't recommend certain stocks. All I can say is I think there's certain companies that probably won't fail. If they were doing really well before all of this, I think they'll probably make it through and continue to do well. And all those companies went 50 to 80% off. And if something goes 50 to 80% off and I think it's going to return to even half of its original value, yeah, what's the harm in buying a little bit? The only other caveat I would probably throw onto all of that is, I've got about $30,000 in cash set aside because I'm trying to buy an extra property, okay? I took $5,500 of it and put it in a Robinhood account, okay? I took 1/6 of my total free cash that I have. And I have no other debt other than the house that I own, or the duplex I own. Have no college loans, have no car debt, have no credit card debt, nothing. So a very small percentage, 1/6 of my actual disposable cash, extra money just sitting in a bank. That's what don't take your life savings. Don't you never borrow money to invest. That's a terrible idea, with the exception of buying a home, right? Be smart. If you want to try something, those are the principles I followed. Do with it what you will. Good luck, good hunting, and hey, maybe you get lucky and make a couple dollars off of it. You'll look great. Yeah, and lastly, if you think about liking this for the YouTube algorithm, I really don't know why you would. It's not like I really worked hard to put this together. It's not like it took some of my time and the amount of time it takes you to literally click your mouse button. It's not like I would appreciate that or anything. I don't need it as some sort of validation for myself. I'm really confident and like secure with who I am as an individual. Like, you should see my double lifted Chevy out there with the extra big trailer hitch. Yeah, anyways, I'll leave you with that thought.